All right, folks, welcome back to Kings of Opinion, episode 61. And now we're in the dog days of summer. But before we get to that, you got Wanderer back, and we got Big Earn off the screen. Guys, say hello.
Good day.
Hope you're doing well.
All right, so I didn't have a Ryan's rant, but then you guys made me have a Ryan's rant. So on Friday, I go to physical therapy. Everyone knows that I tore my bicep at work last year, and I've been going to therapy for the last couple of months. And I get through the therapy, no issues, whatever. I get into work, hanging around. I'm like, oh, my arm's a little sore, right? And then all of a sudden, throughout the day, it progressively gets worse. By the time I got home Friday night, I could not lift my arm past here without any kind of significant pain, like past here. The farther I went up, it was more and more excruciating pain. Now, this went on for I'd say till Sunday night.
This was after
Post physical therapy. Now, obviously, each time you go, if anyone's ever done physical therapy, like they bump you up with the weights or whatever you're doing. They do little different exercises, whatever. So I did do a couple different exercises to strengthen up my bicep, but I've done them before, and all of a sudden, I'm in excruciating pain. I couldn't move my arm for shit. I couldn't even touch the other side of my other shoulder. I can now. I couldn't even get over there.
Wow.
Right?
Nothing done differently that was done before.
Nothing that I know of, right? Now, a week before physical therapy, I think we were golfing the week before, correct? We were in Villarona. I think one of those days I threw a golf ball. And when I did it, I didn't feel a snap or anything like that, anything crazy like that or a pop, but it hurt when I did it. So I wound up going to physical therapy today. Now, mind you, I had to work Saturday night. I worked 12 hours Saturday night. By the time I was done, I couldn't get my clothes off me. I had to rip my clothes, almost you know how the hockey players do, they pull the shirt over from the back? I had to pull my shirt off like that because I could not lift my arm. And as my arm came up, I was in excruciating pain. So we Google it, whatever, this, that, and the other. We find out, okay, you got to take Motrin and Tylenol together. Take 2 of each together, and it supposedly helps. So I started doing that on Saturday. So Sunday I got a little bit better, but then I'm over my sister's house with the twins, and Michelangelo is wiggling around, and it's aggravating the shit out of my arms. You got to take, I can't deal with this, whatever. And I'm thinking, as bad as the pain was, I thought I was I need surgery, I'm done. So I start taking preventative measures with work, and I talked to Devang. I was I might not be able to go to Ocean City, so get me my money back for at least the golf, and if anything, I'll just go down there to hang out. God forbid if something is so drastic, right? So I have a week to figure this all out. So I go to physical therapy today. I was let me just go in there and talk to them, get some heat on it, get some ice, because that's what I've been doing too. I've been laying on the couch, putting heat and ice on it, whatever. And
it's too bad you gave somebody your machine gun massager.
Yeah, I know. I have a backup one over there, but okay. I went for that too, and it was dead. Go figure. So I'm fuck it, whatever. So just ice and fucking heat it is, right? So whatever. And I'm now Monday I get into work. I'm whatever, it still hurts. It still hurts now. And it hurts right in the shoulder area, right above, I guess kind of where the bicep was. I don't know if it's attached here or here or here, but it's still painful here. But thankfully I could go all the way up for the most part, and I have rotation. And the guys are saying that's good. You're probably you're probably okay. Obviously they're not doctors. So the 2 guys that I see all the time for physical therapy, one in particular I see on both Tuesday and Friday. He's not my main guy. The other guy is, but he's not there on Fridays. He was he looked upset, he was gonna kill himself. He's I don't know how this happened. He's you were with me that day. What the hell? So he went above and beyond, thankfully. And those guys at Professional PT on Hillside, they're great. Anyone that needs physical therapy, they know what they're doing, even though they messed up my shoulder, but that's irrelevant. It's not their fault, in my opinion. It's just I'm so unlucky with injuries, even though I heal well.
That's true.
But I guess it just takes some time, right? So
Wolverine.
They were talking to me for an hour. All I went there to do was literally them check out my rotations and whatever, and then heat and ice, and that was it. But they were trying to they were so perplexed, and I was still to me it sucked. Those 3 days sucked, right? but it is what it is. It's no, what can I do? Like, the only thing I can do is schedule an appointment with my doctor, get another MRI because it's been a year. Maybe I tore something else, or maybe there's something else going on in there. And if I need surgery, I need surgery. Like, you know, the point of the story is, I guess, you get older, you should take your health more seriously. You should try to be healthier, and all that good stuff. Like, I'm not afraid of any of that stuff. Like, go you got to go get a surgery. Like, if you got to trust the doctors you go to, right? If you don't, find other ones. But if they tell you need surgery, what do? No, I'll deal with it. I would not deal with pain like that. That's like dealing with the back pain I have too, or any pain. Like when you had your heel was all messed up. Like, you shouldn't deal with that. Like, it's pain for nothing if you could fix it, right?
Yeah.
You know? Oh, speaking of which, right? So, how's the heel?
Much better.
Are you still walking with a little bit of a limp?
Depends, like certain times of the day, like in the morning I'll have it a little bit, and then if I'm sitting for too long, it'll happen, but you know, thankfully somebody was kind enough to lend me a massage gun, and it's actually helped a lot.
Good. So I'm going to tell you now, because I think it works for me for inflammation. If that's maybe what you might have down there, take 2 Motrin and 2 Tylenol together.
I'm gonna have to remember that.
I was shocked. I'm like, you know me, I'm not like a big pill guy. I don't really deal with that. Like, even when I have my surgeries, they gave me OxyContin up the ass or Vicodin or whatever. I didn't take it. Like, I took it for like a couple days right after the surgery, but I didn't like how I felt on it. Like, I was awake all the time. Like, I didn't go to sleep till 6 in the morning. So I threw them things down the toilet and I just dealt with it. And I took like the Motrins and the Tylenols of the world when it was unbearable, which, you know, obviously the longer you go, it's more and more bearable. So to me, whatever. But this Motrin Tylenol thing, it looks like whatever it does, like the formula or the chemistry involved in it knocked down my inflammation in like 2 days.
And helps with the pain at the same time.
A little bit, yeah, which makes me a little nervous because then I'm like moving my arm more freely. Now, if something is bad here, I can injure it more. That's the only thing you got to worry about, right? But hopefully the doctors, we figure this out in the next couple of weeks, and
So
hopefully
the
I'll be all
physical therapist, since you've been back, they couldn't figure out as to what it is.
So that's the funny thing, right? So when you said you had your meeting, we were going to run a little late, I said, you know what, let me go over there and let me talk to these guys, because I had to change my appointment from Thursday to Friday because they wanted me to, no one was going to be there on Friday. It was going to be some new person that doesn't know my history. So like, why don't you come Thursday? All right, cool, I'll come Thursday. So now I forgot I had something to do at work, so I went purposely there once you said you're going to be late and we're going to do this thing a little later. So let me just go there and take care of it instead of calling the random number or whatever. So I go there, and the guy that was there with me on Friday was still there, and he wound up digging in deeper. Like, I don't know who he called or if he just was looking it up. Now, I don't remember the name of what he said I have or what he thinks I have. Obviously, remember, he's no doctor. But it was something with a B. It's not obviously it's not bronchitis, but it's bursitis. Bursitis, yes. Ding, 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 my man. Thank you. I knew someone would get it. So apparently that's like, the way he described it was like, it's a balloon in my shoulder. And like over time, you keep aggravating it and then it pops. Not figuratively, like I don't have a balloon in here and something popped, but he was saying like it happened to his father. It's some kind of inflammation in there where it like gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and then all of a sudden it activates.
What happened if it pops?
Well, it doesn't. It was like, what is it? Figuratively, it doesn't really pop. He was just saying he was just trying to give me an example like a balloon. Like it starts off small because I have the injury,
right.
And over time, some people get this where like it's almost like a balloon. It gets bigger, 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 bigger. Like I guess the stress on it,
Right.
And then all of a sudden, all this pain comes out at once and it relieves itself. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
And then it goes back. So he's like, it's really not that bad. He's like, it may never happen again. You may get it a lot, like more often. And I was like, I never had this before in my other arm, so this is kind of weird. But then again, I had it in a different part of my arm. It's my shoulder as opposed to my forearm. So he's like, you may also have some other things going on in there. So you could go to the doctor and get like checked out again and whatever, and maybe an MRI. He's like, but it's not an emergency. Meaning like it could be over like the next couple of weeks. And I told him like the way my job works, it's gonna be the next couple of weeks anyway. So he's like, yeah, so start the motions and go check it out. But he's like, that's what I think you have. So that helped me out a little bit. So I come in with good news, and I, pretty long rant, but they did a great job. Like, and you know, if nothing more, they show that they actually gave a shit, right?
Yeah.
A lot of places you go to, you're like a number, right? So kudos to professional PT. They do a great job there. And yeah, that's that. So
Good stuff.
Mhm.
Good stuff.
now to the sports. I don't know where to begin. Should we start on a light note or like a shittier note? What do
What's this? Did I see that Brad Asmus is that's his name, right? The bench coach for
Brad Osmus?
Asmus.
Mhm.
He's in charge today. Is Boone not at the game?
I didn't even hear about it.
They just said man in charge today.
Oh, okay. So maybe there's something going on with Boone, or he's taking a much needed day off. You know, there's a lot of things to worry about right now. There's a lot of actual injuries with the Yankees
Yeah. So
today.
what's this Ben Rice?
So Ben Rice is, I guess, their top first base prospect now. He was a catcher converted to first baseman. So he's a catcher first baseman right now. And he's been killing it in Double-A. He just went to Triple-A, and now they need him up because Rizzo's out 4 to 6 weeks with a fracture in his, I want to say wrist or forearm. Like, I really didn't look into it too much. I just knew I was pissed because he was actually starting to look better at the plate. And once I saw him go down and come out, I'm like, great. There you go, that nonsense. So he's going to miss almost 2 months. They said 4 to 6 weeks. Now they're saying 2 months. Ben Rice is up. They have this other guy that they signed to a major league deal from the Mariners, a bullpen guy. We also lost Ian Hamilton for a while, probably at least 2 months.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on over there. But the good news is Garrett Cole is making his first start tomorrow.
Yes.
And you know who's going to be at the game?
You?
Yup.
Wow.
I got lucky because the Yankees, as much as you want to say they're corporate, this, that, and the other, they sent me a very nice happy birthday email in May. And they said I could get 50% off tickets. So my friend at work wanted to go to the game before he goes away on vacation. I said, all right, let me just use this coupon. What game do you want to go to? So we picked tomorrow's game, like over the weekend,
It's a good game.
because we were working together on Saturday night. So we picked the game, and we're sitting field level, section 111. It's right past the Yankees dugout, row 15, for like $78.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little expensive, but you know, whatever. The tickets are worth almost $200, so I got it cheap. Figured why not, and it was almost running out. Yeah, so it's not bad. Yeah, so back to the Yankees. You got Garrett Cole coming back. Hopefully that's something good. I didn't like how they lost to the Red Sox over the weekend. I don't know if anyone.
I know.
Yeah, especially that last game. It was almost like a meltdown kind of game where like we were fighting to come back, and I think like the turning point was that bases loaded, no outs, and it kind of brought me back to last year Yankees where it's like strike out, strike out, strike out,
Yeah.
and you couldn't even get a fly ball or like even the first batter get a double play to tie the game 4-4, and maybe they don't lose 9-3. You know what I mean? Maybe like something else happens,
Right.
you know, and whatever, right?
And of course, it's the Red Sox.
Right, yeah, and like.
Last team you want to lose to.
Yeah, I mean one of the teams you don't want to lose to, right? Like you don't want to lose to Houston, which you didn't this year. You don't want to lose to the Orioles. You don't want to lose to the Rays, and you don't want to lose to the Red Sox.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Everyone else, like you don't want to lose to the Mets either. But you only play 4 games. If you split both, that's fine. You know, and that's normally what happens with these things now. But I mean, the Red Sox Yankees rivalry is, you know, the most famous rivalry in sports. It's gone all the way back to Babe Ruth. So. You know, you don't want to lose 2 out of 3, and it's the way they did it. In Game 1, Verdugo took over the show, and we won that game easily. I think it was like 8-3 or something like that. And then just to lose the next 2 is just awful.
Yeah. So which makes this series even bigger than it already is, right?
Right, exactly. So the Yankees lost 8-1. Won 8-1 on Friday. Then lost 8-4, and then lost 9-3. So it looks like. Besides Game 1, the Red Sox put a hurting on the Yankees. Meanwhile, there was a couple errors, a couple pitching mistakes, and like the bullpen didn't really come through in Game 3. And here we are. And now they come back home, which is great. They're at home. They play very well at home. And now they're in a big series against the Orioles. Now, we went to Baltimore and we lost 3 out of 4. So now it's almost like we got to win all 3 games. You know what I mean?
And who's spot is Cole taken now that he's back?
That rookie that we brought up, Poteet,
Okay.
he got hurt too.
Oh,
He's
so
not
he-
pitching for a week.
Oh, so it's not even that he got set down.
No,
Hurt.
he got hurt. Now, the Mets did this a few years ago. Is it a phantom injury?
Right.
I'm not gonna say, because the last couple of years the Yankees get hurt all the damn time. So now it's, it's only 2.5 months into the season. People are starting to break down. I get it. What are you gonna do? At least the Yankees have enough guys right now to keep it going. Right. That's all we care about. And Rizzo wasn't playing well. He's hurt. So maybe this kid Rice can do something.
Spark something up.
Yeah. And so the guys on the radio were talking about, like, if John Sterling was still doing home run calls, what would Ben Rice's be, right? And they were doing they did like 4 or 5 of them, and they would like make fun of him, like, this is terrible, this is terrible. So now I'm thinking, I'm like, what would it be? And then I'm thinking, I'm like, I think I got a good one. And it's a reference to the National Lampoon's Vacation with Chevy Chase. You know what I'm talking about, when they go to Europe? And it might be European Vacation.
Right.
So the guy's name is Ben Rice. And they were doing everything with, like, Rice, basically. And one of the guys was doing one with Ben. And, like, why are you so stuck up on Ben? And then I thought about it. I'm like, Ben's not bad, right? So you go into the call, right? He's like, here's the pitch. It's hit deep to right field. There it goes. It's high. It's far. It's gone. Oh, kids, look. It's Big Ben.
Yeah.
You don't like it? You don't like it? I thought it was good.
No.
No? Oh, come on. Big Ben?
Nah.
Big Ben?
Nah.
Oh, come on. Whatever. You come up with something better.
Not loving it. Not loving
You come up with something better. So then they go on and they say, get John Sterling on the phone. Let's see what's going to happen. I wonder what he would do now.
it. I know.
And if he took mine, you guys could all suck it. You know?
And I'm sure he'll probably call in, if not already tonight, one of these nights.
Yeah, that would be funny if he actually did and he told the new guy that does it to say something like that. But I'll tell you right now, it's now recorded. If he uses kids, it's Big Ben, you guys are never going to hear the end of it.
You got it.
All right? Anyway. But yeah, so, like, the Yankees are a little bit on a 2-game losing streak. You don't want to see them get much more than that, because basically the division's up for grabs this next couple days, right? So, Orioles aren't a bad team. They're a really good team.
Yeah, I mean, let's just hope that they do well. Let's hope that they don't give up. I think I saw these last 2 games is the most runs they gave up in a 2-game span this year so far.
Yeah, that would make sense. That definitely makes sense to me.
And, the pitching staff has been so great this year that we just don't want, you don't want to see it slipping, right? Because
Right.
it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. You want it to be consistent all year.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think we would love to see that, right?
Yeah. And you don't want it to fall. Like, if it faltered a little bit, obviously during the season, you don't want it to falter in the playoffs, of course. But, like, there's been seasons where guys have just been sharp the whole year. Like, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I don't mind if we lose games 3-2, 4-3.
Right.
We just don't want to see these blowout games going on. Like, remember in the beginning of the season, I think it was like from like the beginning of the season till like maybe the beginning of May, the Yankees got shut out like 5 times. Since then, they haven't gotten shut out, which is a good thing, or at least I don't think they've gotten shut out. But even if they have, they've got shut out in the beginning 5 times, which is crazy. So the offense is still there. You just gotta, like, keep it going. Just stay consistent, stay hot, stay, like, going with the offense and the pitching, because it's important. I'm not worried about our bullpen. The bullpen, they're gonna have their days where they're up and down, up and down, up and down. But, these matchups that we're coming into with the Orioles, like, our guys are just as good as theirs, if not better.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, especially so far this year,
Right. Like, Heels got the rubber game, unless we win the first 2, which, can't be mad about that. Oh, there's our boy. There's our boy, Big Ben. I'm going to call him Big Ben from now on. That's it. I like that hat, too.
So, LeMahieu's playing what, third?
Third or first. I mean, if the kid gets the start tonight, he's going to be probably playing third. So we'll see how it goes. I didn't get the lineup. Like I got the lineup, but I didn't have a chance to look at it because I was driving home. So I don't know. But oh, you know what I want to ask you guys a question?
Sure.
Does Verdugo remind you of an ex-Yankee or an old Yankee? He's not an ex-Yankee, but he played for the Yankees. Is my point. Does he remind you of anybody?
What? Playing style wise or looks wise?
Not looks, but I want to say personality.
Swisher?
Ding, ding, ding. After Friday's game, and then Saturday he was doing interviews too, whatever. I'm like looking at him, and like I watched the game on Friday. I'm like, he reminds me of somebody, and that's exactly the person I came up with. He's like a version of Nick Swisher, which was great for our team back then. So like I hope he keeps it up. He's been doing really
Good for
good.
morale, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. You got the Yankees always get a bad rap, and that's what's so funny about this stuff is like they're all business and this, that, and the other. So when you get a guy like that on the team, it shows that they like to have fun and it's all like camaraderie and all that stuff, which is
And
important.
listen, look, I heard somebody talking the other day on the radio, and I hadn't even thought about it, but it made a lot of sense. You know, we need to hope that he continues to play the way he's playing and he does as well as he does, because if they can't re-sign Soto, Verdugo's going to be, you know, he's going to be the next guy, because if he keeps playing like this, Verdugo's going to get some major offers out there.
So they already said something like that. The problem is Verdugo's going to sign before Soto. That's the problem. So if you're the Yankees, do you gamble and just let Verdugo go and say, I'm playing all my cards with Soto, depending on your feel of conversations with Scott Boras? Because you know Scott Boras, he's not going to let him sign even before the new year. Like, that could go almost right into the very beginning of spring training. Because the only thing different I think Scott Boras will do this year than he did last year, because he screwed a lot of his guys last year, because they held out through spring training, and now all his guys are doing bad. So he won't do that to Soto. So you have till like February 19th, 20th, or whenever spring training next year will start. And that's when Soto's probably going to sign. Verdugo will be signed. It's like, to your credit, if he has a really good year, he'll be signed right away, because someone will back the truck up to sign Verdugo, like a team like the Diamondbacks, maybe even the Mets. Like if they think they don't have a chance at Soto, let's just take Verdugo for $25 million a year, and you're still saving $30, $40 million because you're not getting Soto. And Verdugo's a good ball player. I didn't realize how good he was, but he's great defensively. He got a good arm. He could hit. He hits for contact. His average may not always be up there. I think he's right around 260 right now.
And like you said, he looks like he's the kind of guy that you want in the locker room.
Yeah, like he pumps you up and he shows flair and energy, and like that's good for a ball club a lot of the times, right?
Sure.
So I don't think the Yankees will sign him, and they were saying like Verdugo will be gone before that even can the transaction with Soto will happen, because all the attention is going to go to Soto, and rightfully so. He's amazing, right? But Verdugo's really good too, so it's going to get complicated next year for the Yankees. They're going to drop Rizzo. They might drop Holmes. There's somebody else that's going to be on the books that they might drop. And you also got to remember, you got Dominguez, even though he also went on the IL this week, you got him waiting in the wings too. So it's like, how many outfielders are you going to have? Because you still have Stanton, even though he doesn't really play outfield, but he's a DH. But he could also play the outfield. You got Grissom, which you could get rid of, that's fine. You got Judge, Verdugo, and the Martian. Someone's got to go, and unfortunately it's Verdugo. Now, one of the ways they said to fix that is put one of those guys at first base. Now you're guessing who you're going to put at first base. My choice, personally, to not lose depth in the outfield would be Stanton. Can he play first base? I have no idea. They were saying Judge should do it, because a lot of playing center field and then right field and left field, there's a lot of wear and tear on a big guy. So he would be good at first base. I don't care which one they use, but the bigger the guy, I guess, the better. As long as he can bend down and field the ground ball.
I was gonna say he's a big guy, so that's a nice.
Like, imagine, like, you're not going to throw higher than him. Like, you shouldn't be soaring the ball 15 feet in the air if you're throwing from third or short or even second. So, like, But I guess when you're also big too, what's going to be the problem? The ground ball, maybe.
But has it changed? I mean, I think it's still the case that, because predominantly your first basemen are all lefties.
Yes, and none of them are lefties.
Right.
So, I always heard of that rule, and I forget the reason why they said the lefties are better. I think it's because, like, I'm a righty thrower, so my glove is on my left hand, so their glove is on the right hand. I guess it's easier of a stretch, and also in the hole, like you dive this way as opposed to dive down the line.
Right.
You know what I
You're not
mean?
reaching
Like
up-
I would dive better to the line.
If you're diving to second, you're not reaching him across your body.
Right, and then you have to still turn around. Like if you dive and you're left-handed, you could just get up and shimmy over that way.
You're the chances of you diving towards the first base bag are so much less because you're usually hugging the line anyways.
Agreed, but I'll be honest with you, if that's something they could work on next year in spring training and any of those guys are athletic enough to do it, then you kind of free up to keep Verdugo. Because if you're going to get rid of Rizzo next year, oh, I know what it was. It was Rizzo, Torres, and Clay Holmes to clear up money for Soto. So if you get rid of those three guys and you could fill the first base job either in-house with Ben Rice, but how lucky are we going to get with that? Like the last first baseman we brought up, Greg Bird, we thought was going to be amazing. He was a tall dude, and he was a waste, right? And then who's the other one? Ford. Is it Matt Ford, maybe? Remember the chubby guy? He was playing first base too?
Yeah.
He was a lefty too, and he was another waste. So like, you know, not to be a negative Nancy, but do we really think this kid's going to be good? If he does, fantastic. We don't have to worry about it. But if not, especially Judge would have a better chance than Stanton probably. My whole thing is, if you get Stanton working on it, at least now you have a position where he won't get hurt like as much because you don't have to move around much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, extend his career a bit.
Yeah.
But that's something like, Stanton would be the perfect person to start working on that now in season. 'Cause
Correct.
He's not having a.
And he's a DH. Like, take ground balls, teach him how to, like, step on the bag. I know he's not a lefty, but, get him some playing time, like, whatever,
Because you got a whole half a season to
Yeah.
work on.
And now that you have Rizzo down, and you have LeMay who could play first, and you have this kid, Ben Rice, like, he could, during batting practice, just catch ground balls and, on off days, like, learn how to cradle the bag and learn how to, like, slap a tag and all this other stuff. Like, I'm sure he wasn't an outfielder when he was in Little League. Like, pretty much when you're in Little League, you play every position.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and these guys got to be athletic enough to be able to do some of this. Now, will his body be able to hold up? That's a different story. I just think first base is easier because you got, throughout history of baseball, catchers and outfielders usually become first basemen later in their career to extend their career.
Right.
So if you could do that, I don't see why he can't do that now either. And now you make him almost like a versatile DH first baseman. All you gotta do is, catch the ball. And, the way baseball's played now, how many times are you really gonna have to stretch and, like, pick a ball? Like, I mean, the picking is more, but, like, you see a regular routine ground ball, the guy's jogging down first base. So you could just step on the bag and catch the ball a lot of these times, you know what I mean? So I don't think it'll be a big deal for him to make that transition if he's athletic enough. I just don't know him as being super athletic. I mean, he played outfield for a bunch of years before he came here, and he's had a lot of injuries when he's been here, but he's got to be athletic enough to handle that, right?
I would think so.
Right, yeah. It's just whether or not do they want to ask him to do it, right? Because Judge is younger, I think, than he is, right? Stanton, I think. Like a year or two younger. So, like, you go with the older dude, and then as he leaves our team, then you can transition Judge to first base.
Well, let's hope Big Ben is the real deal.
Oh, I like what you did there. So now let's talk about your Mets. We got a lot to talk about. You ready?
Yeah, they seem to be playing a lot better as of late. I think they're 10-2 in their last 12, 6 in a row.
Yep.
Let's face facts. There's only one thing to really talk about when it comes to this. That's Brutus.
Yeah, well, that too. They haven't lost since Grimace threw out the first pitch.
They're 5-0 since Grimace threw out the first pitch. I got some stats here for you, so I got to add one. The Mets are 10-3 since their meeting. The meeting that they had, their closed door meeting.
Good point.
Okay, and also since they changed their Twitter handle for Gay Pride Month. So if you go onto Twitter, you'll see the Mets logo with like the skyline in the baseball with the Mets, and it's Gay Pride Month. So since that and the meeting, they're 10-3.
Ride the rainbow.
Right? And they're 5-0 since Grimace threw out the first pitch. So the Mets got a lot of things working for them right now. And, you know, just yesterday they put a hurting on the defending champions, the Rangers.
Yeah, I saw I didn't watch the game, but at the gym this morning I saw the score briefly, and I said, wow, okay, they're scoring a lot of runs.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like you alluded to earlier in the season, JD has been huge for them, probably easily their hottest player, I would say.
JD is making me look smarter than I am because I called it even before he was on the team. I'm like, the Mets should go out and sign this guy. And now, and it's funny, I'm going to equate this to DJ LeMahieu in some way. I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to do it. But he came out late, so he needed to get his spring training in.
Right.
So now that he got his 6 weeks in, because remember he was hurt a little bit, he was a little fatigued.
Right.
He got his 6 weeks in, and now he's hitting the hell out of the ball.
Yep.
And DJ's the same way. Like DJ's a little bit behind him because he was already hurt.
Right.
He didn't get back yet. I'm hoping that DJ does the same thing that JD does, somewhat starting soon. And he's been getting better, DJ. But to your credit, JD's been like a big influence.
Oh, whatever.
And I heard in the clubhouse and on the field, which is great. The Mets need that because I think the Mets' problem is, especially early on in the seasons, they don't have that traditional captain type like the Yankees have Judge, right?
Yeah.
And then before that they had Jeter. And like, you know, not a lot of teams in baseball have captains. So it's not to say that the Mets have to have a captain, but you need a strong presence in that locker room to like corral the guys and get them going. And I think that's probably what JD's doing. Like Alonso seems to me to be like a little goofy dude.
Yeah, a bit aloof.
Yeah, and a bit like aloof is a perfect word, so I'm going to use it. And Lindor, as good as he is at times, he's also equally as bad too.
Yeah, he doesn't really come off as a leader either.
No, and you can't even be a leader, even if behind the scenes he is a leader, because we don't know who called that meeting. Some say it was Lindor, some say it was other people. Mm-hmm. But even if he did call that meeting and he is a leader and we don't know it, he gets flack all the time because of his contract, and
Right.
a lot of people
and struggling.
Yeah, and a lot of people necessarily hate him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But, you know, whether it be like the coloring of his hair or his antics or whatever, he just gets the stick a lot of the time. So, you know, it's good that JD steps up. He's a proven winner. He's won World Series with the Red Sox. He was with the Dodgers last year. So, you know, it's good. It's good for the Mets. And like I said, I told everybody or whoever was listening that the Mets are going to be that 500 ball club team, and they can make a push for the playoffs. And that's what it looks like they're doing right now.
Right.
You know, I don't speak as much to how hot they are like some of our friends do, where when the Mets are on a win streak, they talk them up like they're the best thing since sliced bread, but then, you know, goes silent and ghosts the Mets when they lose 4 games in a row, you know? Which could very well happen. They could start losing a bunch of games and we'll be right back in the dumpster.
Not too long ago, it was looking pretty bad. So, you know, we may want to temper our expectations, but, you know, they seem to be going in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's all you can ask for. Just give the fan base a chance to enjoy being a fan of the Mets and enjoying summer baseball. Because that's what the summer's all about, right?
Yeah.
Barbecues, baseball, fireworks, the beach, golf. You know, especially golf. Everyone loves golf, especially McNeil. I heard he wants to be a golfer. Did anyone hear that like a week ago? Like when the Mets were, I guess like right before the Mets hit this streak that they're on where they're like 10-3 or whatever. They were saying like he'd rather be golfing than playing baseball.
Well, that might be the reason why he's been playing so bad, because he's
That he's a crybaby. Could you imagine him on the golf course if he doesn't win? Oh my God. He's going to break the golf clubs or throw them in the water. You know what I mean? It's crazy to me. Jesus. But yeah, I'm happy the Mets are doing good. Let's keep it going. I think this year is going to be the year in New York. Like this year into next year.
Yeah.
I think the tides are going to change. I don't know. I think the Jets are going to be good.
Getting back to you were talking about the reasons why the Mets are on this winning streak.
Oh, yeah.
So, our so-called Mets fan friend, Shady Brady, you so perfectly put it before that only chirps when they're winning and not to be heard from when they're losing. Just sent us article about how Mets fans believe Grimace, the Purple McDonald's character, is saving the season. Where his opinion is he's stating that he thinks the turning point for the Mets season is when our buddy Mr. Doshi, who's running for his judgeship, or whatever you want to call it, went to the Mets game on May 31st.
That was the turning point.
So that was the turning point, basically.
Yep.
But the 31st, what are we at? The 18th right now?
So you said the Mets are what, 10-3?
10-3. So it couldn't be.
He's saying that the Mets are 11-4 since Mr. Doshi made his appearance at Citi Field.
Oh boy. Did he just bring that up unrelated to what we were talking about?
Yeah. He just texted it.
That's amazing. Well, shout out to Shady Brady for a little notch. Shady, you should probably call up the fan and tell him that everyone in Queens should vote for Doshi. Maybe the Mets will win the World Series.
There you go.
Maybe he's their good luck charm. You know? That's funny. That's so random. That's crazy. So they basically went 1-1 besides that streak. So yeah, he could be included in that too. It's almost like the perfect storm.
Yeah.
You got Amish Doshi running for judgeship, went to the Met game on the 31st, 11-4. Since the meeting, 10-3, also with the Twitter handle 10-3, and then Grimace comes out with his icing on the cake, 5-0. They're a perfect 5-0. And they even got their first City Connect win after Grimace threw the first pitch out.
Yes.
That was their
They
first
finally-
City Connect.
Yeah, they were like 0-4 or something like that, right?
Yeah, they
Wow.
finally won in those jerseys.
Amazing. Wow, look at
So-
this. Judge is almost batting 300.
Yeah.
And it looks like Volpe's slumping a little bit because he was batting 290 and now he's at
Yeah, well,
266.
he had that 2 for what, 15?
That's crazy. Let's look at the old
So maybe we can look at it this way. If we can have Grimace throw out the first pitch to Mr. Doshi as the catcher, maybe the Mets will win the World Series.
Maybe they should do that like after the All-Star break. Bring Grimace back for the first home game after the All-Star break and have Doshi before, because I know like we don't vote for him till November. I know we vote for him in June if you can vote for him, but like the actual voting is in November. So maybe like sometime in the summer they work that out. Maybe we can get a deal going. You know? Right now he's looking good. As long as the Mets keep winning it, those guys are looking good. Now once they go on a losing streak, you gotta find a new gimmick.
That's it.
You know?
That's it.
So we'll see what happens with that. It's interesting. A lot of good Mets stuff right now. Feel good. It's a feel good Tuesday for New York sports.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like we're gonna be okay.
Big series for the Yankees, right?
Right. And
The Orioles, Cole's back tomorrow.
yep. And the Mets just gotta keep going. Keep it going. We'll see how everything goes. On unimportant news, I guess you could say, the NBA Finals is finally over.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anyone watched it. Like, I watched like 5 minutes of it total.
No, I didn't watch a second of it.
So boring. And yeah, spoiler alert, the Celtics won. Probably the most boring NBA Finals in like the last 30 years. But whatever. Not a big deal. And then tonight we got probably a potential Stanley Cup win for the Florida Panthers.
Right.
What is it, 3-1 right now? This is game 5.
Another series I haven't watched one second.
Nah, me neither. It didn't. Once the Rangers went out, it didn't look good for me. It's like whatever. But you know, basketball will be over. Basketball's already over. Hockey should be over within, if not tonight, the next couple days. And then what do we got left? Just baseball for the summer, folks.
That's it.
And 4th of July is right around the corner. There'll be a lot of. Oh my God! Did we talk about Joey Chestnut last week?
Oh, I saw that.
No, we didn't.
I saw that. I guess what was it? Vegan something?
Impossible.
Oh,
It's some impossible thing.
Yeah, well, they make the burgers. I know that. So they probably make dogs. I guess too.
Yeah.
I guess they.
Impossible
I guess
Foods,
money.
think
I
is
guess
the company.
money talks, and Nathan's took that personally.
Yeah.
I don't understand it, to be honest. Can anyone explain this to me? Like, I don't get why Nathan's would be butthurt over it.
Because he's a big draw. He's their biggest draw. Probably.
Then why kick him out over him trying to make extra money? It's not like unless when you win the Nathan's hot dog contest on 4th of July, you make $1 million every time.
I don't think so.
Not even close. I don't even know what the number is. But unless you make $1 million because he's won like 7 or 8 of them,
Right.
then I could see Nathan's beef. No pun intended. You know, but like unless he makes a lot of money through Nathan's, and he just tried to get a little extra and was greedy, and then Nathan's kicked him out. I could almost understand that, but that's like telling any sports athlete not to be an endorsement of a company.
Right.
I don't think that's allowed, basically.
If you're a competitive eater, I mean, you got to get paid, right?
Right.
And
It's not like there's franchise, you know,
Right.
it's not like sports teams.
right, like you're Nathan doesn't pay your bills, so to
Right.
speak, all year long. Like
Right. If
you just eat
anything-
with us and that's it.
If anything, he's probably brought more eyes, you know, to that contest that, you know.
Oh, Agreed.
It's
With-
not like you're seeing him make Nathan's commercials or anything.
Agreed. Like if they said, "Yo, every time you win, we give you a contract for $100,000 to do a Nathan's commercial, and we play it throughout the year."
Yeah, it seemed kind of petty.
Yeah, like I don't understand Nathan's and what the play was, and let's be clear about one thing. Like I don't remember when this all started, not that aspect, but the aspect of like eating competitively. But it's not just Nathan's hot dogs that's the big thing. Like
Right.
No,
for
it's their
4th of
job.
July it
It's
is.
their job.
Yeah, like it's their job. Like there's a wing competition, there's a burger competition, there's like almost
Right.
whatever you can eat competition, like
Yeah.
clams, shrimp, so like these guys make money throughout the year eating, and like let's break that down for a second. That can't be good for your body, right?
It's
So how many
gotta be
more
terrible.
years of
Right.
hot dog eating
Shelf
contest
life. What's the
since this
shelf
guy
life?
got in them anyways?
Great, so you guys get it, right? So like you can't be doing this forever unless you're like Chinese or Japanese. Those people are crazy with eating. I don't
Speaking
understand
of,
why.
whatever happened to Kobayashi?
Well,
I don't know.
that's the rumor that apparently they're going to be doing their own separate head-to-head competition.
Like Kobayashi and Chestnut
Yeah.
on also 4th of July.
I don't know the date, but I heard something and saw something that said that they were talking
That
about
was, I
having
feel like
their
that
own-
was his fiercest competitor.
Yeah, they were like neck and neck for a while. Chestnut always had like that 1 or 2 dog advantage,
Right.
and then at the end crushed him, and then he'd be like 6 up or whatever it was. But I'll tell you this much: that's not a bad idea for those boys. But if they did, someone with money needs to back them and do it on 4th of July.
I'm going to assume that if it is, it's going to be Impossible Foods, right? The
Right.
company that he has the endorsement deal with.
And do it with Impossible hot dogs, I guess.
Why not?
Might be different than Nathan's hot dog,
It's still a dog.
I guess, but it's not really. It's an Impossible dog. But what they should do to give it to Nathan's is do it during their contest
Right.
and televise it. Like, who would be good to
Put it in your face.
yeah, like who would be good to do this? Dana White, the UFC guy. He's got plenty of money. Throw them in an octagon with the fucking hot dogs and just get them eating on 4th of July at the same time the other guys are doing it and see who wins. Don't make it a pay-per-view thing. Put it on like, I don't know, ESPN, whatever. Was it on ESPN for Nathan's hot dogs? I don't know what channel it's on.
I believe it is.
Okay, so if it's on ESPN, that's tough because he might have a contract with ESPN. But
And no other network is going to go, I mean, I don't know.
no, someone's got to have the balls to do it because like you said, to me, Nathan's is being petty. You don't kick out one of the most recognizable guys that eat 70 freaking hot dogs
Right,
every
the
4th of
main
July out.
attraction.
Yeah, just because what? He wants to make a little extra cash? Isn't that part of the American dream? To make more money? So how do you kick him out?
Yeah, I thought it was, you know.
Like, would you kick
Land
him
of
out?
opportunity.
Right. Would you kick him out if he was a spokesman for Bubba Burgers
Right.
or like Sabrett's or something? Like Nathan's Hot Dogs eating contest has been around for a really long time.
Yeah.
By the way, can you check to see how long Nathan's Hot Dogs eating contest has been going on for, the hot dog 4th of July thing? Because I'm just curious. I feel like it's a long, long time.
To be honest with you, I think it would have been pretty funny to see that announcer guy from Nathan's, his reaction, I guess, to finding
Yeah.
to finding out about this
Yeah.
impossible thing, because he seems like a very animated guy.
It's gonna be on Netflix.
What's going to be on
yeah.
Netflix?
The Chestnut versus Kobayashi.
No way. When? 4th of July?
I'm checking that right now. I'm checking.
Go
it
ahead.
now.
No, I think it would just have been funny to see his reaction, because, like I said, he's a very animated guy.
No, a
Yeah.
live Netflix special on September 2nd.
Oh, boo.
So they moved it to another holiday.
Yeah, they punked
The
out.
next holiday.
They
The
punked out.
contest titled Chestnut versus Kobayashi, Unfinished Beef.
It's kind of
Will feature the two chowing down on all beef hot dogs.
Okay. And I guarantee it's not Nathan's Hot Dogs. It's going to be something else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either going to be like Sabret, whatever. You know what they should do to put them on the map? Get a little either BJ's, Sam's, or Costco hot dogs in the mix. They'll definitely pay for that. And they actually have good hot dogs. Well, I feel bad for Joey Chestnut. Just put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
He'll be okay though. Netflix has a lot of money.
Yeah, and you know what? He might be. Well, he's probably already a millionaire. You would think, right?
Yeah.
Close.
I would hope so.
Probably, like not a big millionaire. He's probably got like 3 or 4 million.
Yeah.
He probably lives a good life eating. You know what I mean?
Impossible Foods has not confirmed a formal relationship with Chestnut, but he said in a statement that the company supports his choice to compete in any competition, adding, meat eaters shouldn't have to be exclusive to just one wiener.
Yeah,
That's great. That is awesome. So let's take a little shift now from the sports and let's talk about TV and whatever movies. So before I go, because I need a little bit of a breather because
Sure.
of the whole Chestnut thing, did you guys watch anything recently that you want to talk about?
yeah.
Give the fans a little taste.
I've watched a few things since I've last been on. Let's see. I watched Godzilla -1. I liked that a lot. I was waiting to see it for a long time, and it didn't disappoint.
No, it
Yeah,
didn't.
you liked it?
Yeah.
I liked it too.
Yeah?
Yeah. I really enjoyed that one.
But you know why though? Did you watch it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Did we talk about this last week? I don't know if we did or not, but whatever. Either this way, really quick. It didn't have subtitles. They dubbed it, so it made it 10 times better for me.
I mean, for me, I watched it with subtitles.
Which-
I guess that's
which
natural.
bothers me more. So like, I didn't find it great, but when I did go back to give it another shot, I watched it with subtitles because watching it dubbed really made me not like it.
Yeah, I'm a subtitle guy.
It didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I just wasn't crazy about it.
Gotcha. You know what I watched that made me think of you? This Movie Pass documentary.
Movie
Have you
Pass?
heard of that?
No.
Yeah. Remember the Movie Pass thing that you were all about?
Oh, the AMC thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a documentary about that.
Is it really?
What about it?
Yeah.
Just like how it got big, and then I guess it didn't go so well. It's on HBO. It's
Really?
Pretty, yeah, it's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
What is it? An hour and a half?
Yeah, it's not that long, but just tells the story. Gives you like what happened. It's pretty. I found it interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. Like I said, it made me think of you. What else? feel like
What
I
about
watched.
season 2 of Outer Range? Did you start that yet?
You know what?
Oh,
I
that's what I
did.
have to watch.
I did, but like, I'm probably like 4 episodes in, 5 episodes in, and like you said, dude, I'm lost. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so like you weren't here last week, but we were talking about how, I tried watching the first episode and I completely forgot everything about it. So I went back and watched all of season 1
Okay.
first,
A little
and then I
refresher.
watched season 2, and
Yeah.
it was
good?
good.
Oh, it was good?
It was
Okay,
good.
cool.
Didn't disappoint.
All right.
Awesome. So for me, not watching it at all, I could just binge watch
There you go.
both seasons. This is great. I found my new show.
I'm trying to think what else I watched. I watched. There was another film on Netflix. Was it called Hitman? Is that what it was called?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've
the
seen
movie.
it, I've seen it.
That's the
was
guy
good.
from Top Gun, Maverick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right, the blonde dude?
Yeah, so that was.
Yeah, he's everywhere right now.
That was good. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
The guy
I
that played
kinda-
Elvis.
No,
No.
different
Oh.
guy.
No, the guy was Hangman in Top Gun Maverick. All right.
I kind of felt like I got tricked into watching, I guess, almost a romantic comedy, which I probably wouldn't have watched. But no, I enjoyed it. It was good. Yeah, that guy, that actor's good. What else?
So
I think that might.
So that's a rom-com, Hitman?
It's like I say that like loosely. It's more. I guess it's there's a relationship in it, but
So it's
there's
more
like a plot
action, but
story.
there's still a little love story in there. A little bit.
yeah. I guess
So
you could
like
say
the
that.
same premise as Fall Guy.
I haven't seen. I don't know a lot about that. I know who's in
Fall
it,
Guy?
but I heard it's
Yeah,
getting good reviews.
With Ryan Gosling.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
heard it's getting good reviews, and I like Ryan Gosling, so would like to see him do well. I think that's it for films, and then I watched a show Eric on Netflix. That was interesting, to say the least.
That's the Good Morning Sunshine?
Yeah.
That was good.
Is that based on a true story?
I don't know. I meant to look it up and I completely forgot.
Right, and if that's not based on a true story at all, that's crazy because it seems like super specific for the time period and
Yeah.
everything. But it was it was for me at this point. If you just come with something original, I'm all in.
And that was definitely original. And he's a great actor.
Oh yeah,
Doctor Strange.
What's his
Uh,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
he always brings it.
So what was this show? Eric? It's called Eric?
Eric? Yeah.
And what's it about?
It's like a mini series about a guy who has a show for kids, and then his kid goes missing, and he's kind of like spiraling out. But it's
Really?
also like it's like shows like what New York City was like. I guess it's like the early '80s. I guess.
I would say so. Like
Yeah.
late 70s.
And you
early
guys
80s.
think it's a true story?
I mean,
I
don't know.
it would definitely seem like it. Like it would make sense if it was.
Right.
But I never got around to checking to see if it was.
All right.
I don't remember seeing anything in it that said it was a true story, but
Yeah. Same. So
but
that's maybe me think
it
that
was really he was great in it. You
Yeah.
know, he plays he's a nut job, and he's pretty much like without making it like he's a raging alcoholic. He's an alcoholic.
likes to have a drink.
Yeah.
Right. This is what I mean. Let's have a drink. It's all right. Good, man.
But it was actually very good. I didn't expect it to be
Same.
as good as.
And it's one season?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a mini
it's a
series.
mini
Oh, so
series.
once you watch the miniseries, it's
Yeah,
done?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
done.
and same, Ernie. I had no expectation. To be honest with you, when I put it on, I thought it was a movie, and then I realized
Yeah,
that it was
right.
a limited series.
Right.
Would you watch that first or Outer Range?
Well, I mean,
This is important.
for you, Outer Range for sure.
What does that mean for me? Do I not have do I not have range?
He knows what you like.
I don't buy it, but that's okay.
What about this show? I think we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. Dark Matter.
Yeah, I'm current on that. good show, man.
I like it, and I've been watching it, but
Yeah.
it's getting to the point where it's getting a little confusing.
Yeah. If that's one thing I noticed about it early on, you got to pay close attention because, it's when you're dealing with time and different,
We did mention that. That's
Yeah.
another like time travel thing, right?
Yeah. There's like
different
now we're at
dimensions,
the point where there's
different
like
dimensions.
5 versions of the main character.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
how many seasons is that?
It's
The
only
first
the first season.
There's only one season of it.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be more seasons.
No, but I mean like right now,
yeah,
up
it's,
to
on,
date.
it's
one
a new
season.
show that just came
Oh,
out on
okay.
Apple TV.
Oh,
Yeah,
Apple
thank you
TV.
for
Dark Matter.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm enjoying that a lot.
So you guys ready?
Yeah, I think that's it for me.
What about you? You done? I finished Fargo.
Nice.
You did?
I finished
Season
Fargo.
2?
All of them.
Oh my god.
I finished all of them last night. I finished the end of 5 last night.
So what did you think of season 5?
Season 5 was dope. I love season
Jump to
5.
the top of your list.
It's up there, dude. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely up there. You're right. John Hamm was amazing, but
John
he's foreshadowed by the girl, Juno Temple.
Yeah, she stole the show.
She was amazing, and I'll even give you this: her mother-in-law by the end.
She's great too.
Ooh, home run! Like she did a total
What is she from?
180. I don't know.
If she's in anything else, but she was great.
Yeah, she's the one that was in all those 80 flicks.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yes.
Her name. I forget her name too. You're 100% right, but I remember her
she
face
was in all
younger.
those 80s
Yes,
flicks.
I know exactly what you're talking about. She was in. Was it 16 Candles?
Yeah, all those
Yeah.
80s movies.
So anyway, if gun to my head, if I had to do something, I'm only gonna give season 1 the edge.
Season 1's your favorite.
Season 1's would be my favorite. If gun to my head, otherwise I would almost do it like, oh, who would you rather have, Soto or Judge? It'd be like a 1A, 1B type of thing.
I'm kind of like that with music. Sometimes like the first thing I hear of someone is like my favorite.
Yeah,
My favorite.
right. So like season 1, 5. This is tough. 1, 5, 4, 2, 3.
Wow.
So now, again, Wander, because you weren't here last week.
Yeah.
Pucks was talking about how what he liked about the show is that every season there was one character that was tied into
Right.
another season. So did you figure out, was there, no, right? I didn't-
Season 5 was the first season.
They didn't-
Nobody was connected.
Okay.
And I was pissed off about it. I was like, you do it for 4 seasons, and this all kind of happens in the Midwest, basically. It's either Fargo, Minnesota, or Kansas City, the first 4 seasons. And even this one was in North Dakota as well. Maybe not Fargo, but still in North Dakota. You couldn't find a connection for this one, but granted, these are all true stories, right? So, can you connect every character? No. What I'm hoping now is they go back to it and find another true story for season 6 that they could either connect to 5 or one of the other seasons, which it might be hard.
Be a season 6?
I'm sure there is. Like you don't go 5 seasons and they still got to, unless they ran out of true stories.
All right.
You know what I mean? But, and, even if it's a true story and it doesn't connect to anything else, because I guess maybe that's, like, whoever created this show, and you know what I want to do, hopefully before next week? I want to watch the Fargo movie. I haven't watched it.
Me
I
neither.
never watched
Me neither.
it.
Neither.
And what's funny is season 5
that's
was,
funny.
yeah, season 5
The
was one
movie's
of,
great. By the way.
I heard, and I just never, I guess when I watched the trailer, I wasn't really into it.
Yeah.
But like watching the show, now I gotta watch the movie, and I think,
Are you a Shameless guy?
no, I never watched Shameless either.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying it's the actor from.
Okay.
William H. Macy.
Oh, I like him. He's good. He's funny.
He's great. Man.
But I guess for me, right? Season 5 at one point said that, like in the credits, it's based on the movie Fargo. So now you almost have, Ernie, me and you should watch that this week before the next show, and like we'll talk about it next week, because maybe I guess Fargo the movie is a true story, correct?
Yeah, based. I think. Yeah, based.
Yeah. So that's another story.
I
So
still can't believe how he watched it all and like what? How many was it? 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's probably like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Well, because if the
That's-
season's good, you missed it last week too. Up till then, I was at the end of season 4. No, I'm sorry. I started season 5, episode 1. That's the only one I watched. So up until that point, the only season that dragged for me was season 3. I didn't like it, and I don't
Yeah,
even remember.
season 3 is different.
Season 3 was the worst with Ewan McGregor,
Those twins. Yeah.
the twins. That was a terrible season. It was all over the place.
It's
But every other
definitely
season had you
probably
hooked.
least, popular. So.
Yeah, every season had you hooked. Where like I'd watch 2 or 3 episodes a night. And 5, I finished literally within the week. Like I finished it last night. I was watching at least 2 episodes a night.
Yeah, 5 was great. for
Yeah,
sure.
it was awesome. But yeah, that's
Two's still my favorite.
number 2's your favorite. I don't blame you. Before I watched 5, it was my numbers were 1, 2, and 4 were together, meaning like I liked them both the same.
Right. I forget
And then
about
3.
4. 4 was very good.
4 was good because it was the earliest murders, and it connected
Right.
one of the guys from 2, the black dude from 2, that he was a kid in that, which made 2 and 1 relevant.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I like that in each season there was a different character in there that connected the season.
Right.
And I was like, this is wild. That's what made the show wild. You know, even 3 had a connection. I forget what it was, but it all had a connection up until 5. 5, there's no connection.
Right.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. So give us your music,
All right,
and then we'll
Get
end
us
it
outta
out.
here. All right, we got 3 picks as usual. First up, we have No Worries with Y Lord. Next up, we have Homeboy Sandman with Rich 2, and third, Crime Apple with Bazooka. Those are the 3 picks for this week.
All right, dope. Well, that'll do it for this week. Hope you guys have a great week. Let's go Yankees and Mets, and start to enjoy your summer, folks. It's the dog
Take
days.
care, enjoy.
Till we meet
Let's
next
go
time.
Yankees.
Yeah, that's right. Have a good week.